Hello, hey, I got an idea. Let's do a show today. It's Monday. Yeah,
What? Really? We got to do one of those today?
yeah, and it's
All right.
tax
Good idea. Good idea. Good idea. Good idea.
tax day. That's the
Good
bad
idea.
part, right?
Great.
Got to give the federal government there a little bit every year. They come after what you got left over and then some sometimes. Right, everyone say hello to the fabulous, most wonderful, the greatest entertainer on earth, Randall
Wow.
Santa Checker Lee.
Hi, guys. Great to see everybody. Thank you, Bob, as always. Yes, that is that infamous day that happens to us each and every year. Oh,
Don't it,
my
don't it
goodness. It
though?
is that day.
This is one of the days I think most of us in the America, United States of America, dread the most. Even if you're getting money back by a small chance, you still kind of dread it because then you just got to start all over with your bookkeeping and clean out your files and put them, away for the year once you get your tax return done and start all over. And it's for me, and I make this promise to myself and my wife every year is that I'm going to do better and I'm going to print those receipts as we purchase something and put them in the file. Well, it comes tax time, I start looking and the things start popping in my head. Well, I got this year. Of course, I didn't print a receipt, and then I've got to go back and get in and find where I can find that receipt, either be it PayPal or be it my Gmail or whatever, and then pull it up, print it, explain what it is on the front of it, put it in the correct, stack of stuff that I've got segregated. Oh man, tax day.
It's such
Bah
a
humbug.
stressful time. It really is. I get more stressed out when I go to the accountant than anything. That is the most day that's the my probably my highest day of anxiety all year. Taking all my paperwork to the accountant and having her do all that. Um, because it just never seems to work out really good, you know?
My tax man called me a few days ago and said, "Hey, I got some questions."
Uh,
Okay, let's sit down and go through this. And turns out I was able to answer them all and got him, going in the right direction. So it's all good. Not having to pay the government anything this year, so that's even better.
wow, lucky for
Not
you.
getting anything back, not having to pay. It's just a wash.
Wow, that's a win. That's a win.
A
Yeah,
win. You bet it is.
I think I
You
was
bet.
just actually was $999 for me between Michigan and federal. It was
Oh my.
999. Yeah, that's what I remember it being that number.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh well,
Well, let's throw out another number. It's 76 and cloudy here in the DFW area. I've got a chance for rain tonight. It's been warm. It's been muggy. Today's a little bit cooler because it's really overcast. Completely clouded over, which helps. But again, that holds in the moisture and makes it that much more sticky. So, how's the weather where you're at, Randy?
oh man, it was 70 today, 72 yesterday, or actually I think it got up to 76 yesterday. But 2 days ago we had 60, 70 mile an hour winds, and where I live, I have a carport. It literally lifted up my carport in a corner, disconnected it from, ripped the bolt out where I have the windows, and so that's kind of leaning now because
Oh
it
no.
disconnected from the roof. The wind ripped it, pulled it apart. So I got somebody coming over tomorrow that hopefully we can get it back where it should be, and new bolts, and if not, I it's gonna be big time money. But yeah, the wind was 60, 70, whatever mile an hour winds, and just caught it, and I heard a big bangs. So I pulled my truck out. Not going to leave it underneath the carport just in case it takes it the rest of the way.
No,
So,
no, don't
but
you do
other than
that.
that, it's been beautiful last couple of days. Thanks goodness, it's been beautiful. Hard to believe it's the middle of April and we're getting some nice weather. All the trees got the beautiful little flowers starting, and lilacs are kind of see little buds on them in the yard. So it's
Yeah, that's a good sign. Another good sign here in North Texas is a few folks have posted that they're starting to see the hummingbirds return, and that's always a big deal for us here. I think everybody likes to put their feeders out and watch those hummingbirds. They're so fascinating. So you know, it's that time of year.
it's
Flowers are blooming, rain's coming. And we got the ISC right around the corner here in 9 days, 10 days, and Branson coming up soon. The School of Santa. So everything's rolling in like a wrecking ball at this point.
The half a year will be over pretty soon. It's already the middle of April. A month and a half. It's going to be June already.
Amazing. And we just started doing the shows again yesterday, and here it is, episode 9 already. So it's hard to keep up with. Well, hey, let's say hi to Eric Moe. They just joined us. We've got Rex Ray. Hello, brother Rex. How are you doing, my friend?
Charlie here. Mark's here. Good to see everybody.
Deborah
Deborah,
Kinzer is with
hi.
us. Dana Prostrollo, as usual. Yeah, Patrick Moss, Bill Corbett. You said Mark.
Yeah,
Guess got a good crew coming in here today.
yeah,
All
great.
right.
Thank you,
Well, are
man.
you are you ready? Let's move along and get this show on the road, and let's do
Yeah,
something murder.
good.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Well, we talked about tax day. Randy's got one for you here. Go ahead and throw it at him, Randy.
Yeah, like I said, we started talking about tax days, and since today is the 15th, it's either sink or swim for the next few hours to get it out. So I'm just wondering, how many of you Santas and Mrs. Clauses run it as a Santa business? Do you have an LLC? Are you just a DBA? Um, do you take all your deductions? Do you deduct your mileage, your percentage of your house, your cell phone? Do you suits? All those kind of goodies. Um, there are so many things that can be deducted. Um, so how many of you do a total long form? It's not a long form for that, but I think it's whatever the name of the form is that most accountants will do. That you take all your deductions because it is a business. Um, for what's you're allowed, you're allowed even to take your part of your heat, your light, percentage of your home use that way. If you So I kind of wonder how many people do that out there, or if you just let it be because you get, I mean, how many get 1099s? Some people don't even probably get 1099s. You just, if you work for an agency, of course you do. So just curious.
Yeah, for me, I worked with Worldwide Photography and as a subcontractor, so I had to take care of all that on my own. Once Cherry Hill came in and bought out Worldwide, then we went to seasonal employees. So they started, having to send out the 1099, taking care of insurance and background checks and those sort of things. Of course, they deduct it from your pay, but I didn't have to handle that stuff any longer. But for me, I put everything I can in that brown envelope, categorize it the best I can, right on the front of each receipt what it's for and what category we're in. And if there's a need for a spreadsheet for certain things, like when I do a SAT Bob school, I do a spreadsheet on it showing income, expenses. If there's a profit or a loss there, and makes it simpler for the tax man and get all that stuff over to my tax guy, and I just let him handle it from there. It's out of my hands, and he worked for the IRS for a number of years, and he stays up on the tax codes. And gentleman in his 80s and been doing it forever and ever. And so I feel blessed to have someone to be able to handle it from that point forward.
Yeah, those tax codes, they seem to change every year. A lot of them change so often that you really need somebody, especially if you are doing all these deductions. Um, it's somebody you really need to have really up on that stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so
So here's a little tidbit for you that I found out a number of years back now. But if you're traveling, say for instance, you're going to go to Memphis, and it takes you 2 days to get to Memphis. So it's going to take you 2 days to get home from Memphis if you're driving. You rent a rental vehicle, you can, of course, rent right off the rental for the rent car. either mileage or gas, and mainly on longer trips, mileage is going to do you more than gas will. Shorter trips, if you know you're still allowed to do gas and do gas over mileage, sometimes it comes out in your benefit. But again, say for instance you want to make a mini vacation out of it, so you're going to be gone a total of 7 days, two there, two back, three there, and you want to make a swing on your way home and jog over a couple of states and come back, well, you're still able to deduct those 2 days it would have taken you to get home. But everything beyond that is on you. So just remember, just because you combine a short vacation or a couple of extra fun days in with a trip, a business trip, you're still allotted that time to get home, to get there and get home. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, there's so many things. There's so many things that you can deduct that, or back and forth like that. That
Mm.
don't if if on some tax people it costs more money when you're doing a I think was it somebody, yeah, Charlie said a schedule C, there you go. If you're doing a schedule C, it a lot of accountants will charge more the more you put on it, but if you get money back or break even, it's worth it. And it's also good not to have that old red flag, the government coming up and digging into what you've been doing. So
Want the
um,
federal government after you for sure.
yeah, that's just not worth it. So that's why you have to do the 1099s, and then of course we all do some cash things. Um, so you always should put that in there. It's income. Technically, it's taxable. No, no, not technically. It is taxable. This is being recorded, right? It is taxable. So you got to do, and any of the thing that you get paid for is
That's
is
correct.
is 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 has to be shown on there. So
Again,
um,
you don't want to take any chances. So
the, at least my account doesn't break down. Let's say I get a cash for a birthday party. Let's say they don't ask for the people's name, address, number. I just say $250, you know, for that for a birthday party. Um, so, or there's some companies that don't under $600, they don't have to give you a 1099. So you still got to put that in there anyway. So
yeah, again, you don't want to send up any red flags. So you want to be honest. And I mean, you could put down, like you said, 250 for a birthday party. And, you know, you do a dozen of those a year, and the IRS says, oh, wait a minute, maybe we ought to look at this guy and see what he's doing. So keep it honest and keep it to the best of your knowledge, and you'll be
yeah,
doing
that's
fine.
why it's always it's. I mean, I know it. That's why I always feel good when I take it to an accountant. So
Hmm.
they have a registration number that they're legally allowed to do taxes, not so it's kind of they. She's not going to stand behind me in court, of course, but um, at least you've got a little bit more to stand on. So,
Yeah.
but I see everybody here, same thing. Mark says he's an LLC. He'll be the LLC this year, which is always good to cover your any assets you have and everything else. Um, Dana is we are the LLC also. Um, Rex Ray is a sole proprietor. Um, Nathan, hey Nathan, how are you? Good to see you. LLC. He does all itemizing deductions, and it's just the list goes on and on. Now there's some places if you buy a suit, some accountants will say, "Well, we'll prorate it. You might have paid $1,800 for your suit, but you're not going to take the whole deduction of $1,800 this year because you're going to have the suit for 5, 6 years." It's a crazy game, but it's uh, Mark said he's got 1099s. Yeah, make sure you file all your 1099s. Russell, same thing, does 1099s. Um, Charlie, same thing. I do get 1099s for large clients, claims miscellaneous income. Yeah, anything under 600, they don't have to do that again. But it still is if you're getting $500 from I don't know ABC, hardware store, you got $500, you really need to play it safe and put it on there, even though it's cash.
Let your
Um,
tax man decide,
yeah, let your, so
tax person.
uh, I don't, I'm just reading. These are all a lot about cards. I'll skip all those. Um, Jessica says if you earn over 400, you're supposed to claim the earnings. Um, you're supposed to claim all earnings technically, even if you make $50. Um, they even ask if you um, if you have an account, bank account, and you make $35 in interest for the year, you're supposed to claim the $35 in interest. That has nothing to do with being Santa, but that is the legal law to do that. Um, so that's but there's just don't forget and don't like leave anything out. Make sure you get a good tax person or accountant person. It's kind of a little late this year to worry about that, but
Yeah.
um, but just so many things you can write off. A lot of people don't write off, like I said, you're part of your heat, your light, um, all that, or even sometimes you can get rental if you rent, you can get break on your rental. So it's it's a business, and that's the side that is really no fun. We'd rather be out there making the children smile, but
Yeah.
it's still is a part of business we still have to do. The government's not going to say, "Well, you make the children smile. Don't worry about paying taxes this year." Um, so just don't put any red flags up. That's all I suggest. And I've been fortunate so far between the magic business and the Santa business. I've been as upfront as humanly possible, so I don't have the problem. Um, so
And the government started a couple of years back, even digging in as deep as your PayPal accounts. Everything's, they sent out changed the law where PayPal has to report everything, that you take in there. And so, I mean, they're out there. They've got people on the payroll that do nothing but dig. And
yeah, that's crazy.
like you said, the last thing you want is them digging around and trying to trip you up in anything. I mean, you can be as honest as you can be and still make a mistake. I mean,
Mhm.
that's why a tax person is so, so, so important to make sure that they can decipher through the yays, the nays, and if it's a maybe, err on the side of caution and push it aside. It's not worth getting a few dollars back on a deductible item that will cause you a year to 2 years worth of grief with the IRS.
Yeah,
The
totally.
federal government does not play. So,
Yeah, yeah. I see Jessica just said, which is true. If you can't get your taxes out today, remember you can file an extension. You
extension,
have
great.
until you have 6 more months. But I'm not even sure how this works. I thought you still have to pay what you think you might owe today. Um, so I don't know what the extension can help you with. If you think you owe $1,000, you still got to pay the $1,000 today. But and they're going to eventually pay you back in 6 months if you prove that's wrong. So thank goodness I've never done that, but file an extension if you can't get it out today because we don't put another red flag up either.
Yeah.
It's like Bob's saying, don't play around. Don't put the red flag up. They're gonna win, you know. So
Mess around with the federal government.
those three letters everybody's afraid of, IR. So that's what we don't mean to bring up a scary thing, but today's the big day, and it happens to us every year. Um, I put my money in the mail last week. It just, yeah, but I feel secure about it. I mean, I owe it, so that's fine, and I can't begrudge. I look at how much money I made and my deductions. Hey, I did all right. You know,
The price of doing business. And
yeah,
Jessica clarifies, says, yes, you estimate your income if you pay in. So great point.
Can you get Tom's question, answer?
Tom says sole proprietor as many deductions as possible. That's correct, Tom. Again, you want to stay within your bounds and don't uh, don't count yourself short either. Be sure and take all the deductions that are possible. And there again, a good tax person can keep you in and out of trouble by knowing what you can and what you can't. Again, if and when I send my stuff to my tax man, if it's questionable, he'll set it off the side. And then when I go for consultation, he'll say, okay, what was this? And clarify this for me. And, I don't know. That's kind of questionable. Let's not take any chances. And he'll push it off into that third pile.
yeah, it's worth every penny as far as I'm concerned. At least mine is. I feel, It's worth every penny
Absolutely.
to pay your accountant, a good accountant, to make sure that you get all those and there are no red flags. Um, and when I was there a week or so ago, it's like, well, can we put this down? No, let's not. Let's just skip it. It's not that big of a, it's not worth trying to add that on, or whatever the case may be. You should, no, we decided, nope, that's not. So just be honest, and because like I said, they'll come at you, and you don't want that problem, and because all we want to do is, make the children happy and to perform. So, but that's the other side that we still have to deal with. So
Sean, turn it into a business trip and hang on to all your receipts. Sean says she's coming to Dallas to see Betsy this week. So yeah, make a
oh yeah,
make a business trip out of it. Y'all sit down and talk business, talk Mrs. Claus stuff, and do everything that's required of you, and make it a business trip. That way you can
I mean, you
use
can
it for
still
next
write
year.
off a percentage of your food, your travel, your car, your everything. You're not going to get it all back, but make it a business trip. Make sure you talk business. It's worth it.
Again, Jessica brings up another great point. It's smart to set aside 25% of your earnings immediately, so you're not overwhelmed when the self-employment taxes, you know, that way you've got it to cover it if you need it. So good point.
Years ago, when of
There you
course,
go. She says
again,
she's seeing Chrissy go for a
fitting.
fitting, so that's a business trip.
It's a business trip. Very good.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you can write that off. Just add that in there, and that'll of course be for next year. But still, that's
Yeah. So
don't
2025.
miss it. Don't waste that. The opportunity in making, you know, getting a deal on that. It's progressing your business, and our business
Don't be,
is the same as if you own a restaurant or if you own a shoe store. We're still business. So
and Sean, don't be a Bob. Be sure and print your receipts and file them away so that you'll find them next year when you go to do your taxes. Randy, there's a follow up from Russell on the card.
finally came. I think I've sent Russell three. I think I've sent him three. Same with Carl. Carl, I sent him two or three also.
I think the postal clerks are wise with all this going through the mail, and they've caught on to what it is, and they're collecting also.
They must be, because it's just like, come on.
Yeah, I've noticed quite a few people are having trouble getting through with them,
Yeah,
and some come within a day or two,
day
and
or
others
two.
takes
Yeah,
a week. And it's usually the ones that's closest to you. They take longer than from across the country.
that's what
So
doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
I
it's
know, I know. You know, I know this is kind of off topic a little bit, but this kind of goes hand in hand with what we're just now talking about. When you buy something and it's coming from another part of the country, have you ever tracked your uh, product to see the trip it takes to get to you? We've had stuff come from up here, come down here and be within a 45-minute drive of our neighborhood and go halfway back
yeah.
up here before it comes to us.
Yeah, I've seen it go. Yeah, my same thing. You'll track it and it'll go to, let's say it went to Chicago, it went to Minnesota first before it came to me in Detroit. Like, why? But yeah, it's
Makes no sense.
or
Makes
there's
no sense.
sometimes you can get it. How did I get it in a day and a half? Like 2 days. Well, how did it? I mean, it's not even an Amazon package even. It was a mail thing. So, but some is just that tracking, just especially any eBay things. If you do that, that definitely doesn't make any sense.
Rex puts up a little tidbit here. He says, I have found a printed address, not in cursive, does better in the USPS. Yes, and I print all mine, Rex, and you may have noticed, well, maybe not, but those who have received cards from me, I use capital letters on everything except my eyes. I always do a small I because a big I look stupid. But anyway, I did mail or get one card ready today, and just for a change, I use smaller
Mm,
regular small and large letters, and it just felt weird. I don't know
my
why.
I just use a return, like mine is the return label is printed. I have a sticker for return label, but not for who I mail it to. So well, good, great guys, great. I see we're all kind of on the same page about what we do, and we all know we got to do it. So
One last thing here. John
Oh.
Schimmel says, if you want to confuse children, write in cursive. So true. Jessica says, if I in Springfield, Missouri, if I mail across the street, it goes to Kansas City, then back to Springfield. That's what we're talking about exactly.
It just makes zero sense.
John says, forget Elfish. That'll really confuse them. All caps with no punctuations, Patrick Moss says. Yes. All right, guys, let's go ahead. That was fantastic. Great participation there. Let's go ahead and jump on to our second question. This is pertaining to the ISC. Are you signed up for the ISC? I am. We're going. TNL will be there with our booth, interviewing and covering 4 days of the ISC. If you're going, will you be taking a variety of clothes from casual to full-blown red business suit to dress reds for the banquet? There's been a lot of question about this, so I thought, okay, well, it's kind of a hot topic. Let's bring that up today and see if we can kind of clarify some of that for folks. There's no dress code. You can go any way you want to go to any of the events, from the vendor's room to the daily workshops to the banquet. If you want to go casual in the banquet, that's fine. What we have found in the past that most of these larger events, folks really like to get dressed up for that banquet. I mean, they'll dress that to the T. And there's even a few I know at School of Santas in Branson that put their Santa garb on. They put their full Santa suit on, and some of the traditional bearded guys will, put their beards on and deck out completely for, for the banquet, the big dinner or graduation pictures. So, uh, will you be participating in the parade? I don't know how many of you heard last week on our Tuesday night live show, but there'll be a parade. It's not a very long parade, but there will be a parade. There was some question: do we dress as Santa, Mrs. Claus, Elf, or do we dress casual? Again, that is up to you. There's no dress code on anything in the ISC. Do you plan on making a big ticket item purchase from the vendors or exhibitors? A lot of guys said, pack a empty suitcase because you're going to buy some things. If you're flying or even if you're driving, it's a good idea to pack an extra suitcase, an empty suitcase to put your collectibles, your Santa garb, whatever it is you may purchase in that suitcase for safe transportation back home from the event. So just a question, throwing it out there to everyone. You going to the IC? Are you taking a variety of clothes? Are you going to participate in the parade? And are you going to purchase any big ticket items while you're there? 36 vendors as of last question. So 36, a lot of good suit makers, a lot of variety of everything and anything and everything there, from even a couple of award-winning authors. Going to be a couple of those there too. Pamela McCall that we had on a couple of weeks ago, she'll be there signing books. So going to be fun.
Yeah, 36 vendors. That could something from here, something from there, something from here. That can fill a suitcase really quick. 36 vendors. That's really good. Wow. Yeah.
Mark Rector's not going. John Schimmel is not going. John had told me that earlier when we were talking about Klaus cards. Charlie says just casual and two other Santas riding with me. So, yeah, not a lot of space unless you've got a big SUV for a whole lot of stuff anyway, Charlie. Uh, John Schimmel is going to Cape Cod, and he's going to bring casual and dressy for that. Rex says not this time. I'm having 3 different eye surgeries over the next 4 weeks. Everyone enjoy it. That's correct. Rex is not going to be able to make the ISE this go round. He is having 3 more procedures on his eyes. Already have had a couple, and they're trying their best to help Rex get his eyesight stabilized. Please say a prayer for our brother in red, Rex Ray, and for the surgeons that will be operating on him in the next 4 weeks. Our heart goes out to you, Rex. Charlie Johnson in parade wearing Santa casual. Sal and Lelicato. I mess that name up every time, Sal. I'm sorry. Yes, we will be arriving on Wednesday. I will be bringing both casual clothes and dress clothes. I'm not bringing the suit as I will be flying in. And that's another thing to consider if you're flying, as there's always that chance of losing your luggage. So I don't know that I would trust a $1,500 or $3,000 suit, Santa suit, or Mrs. Claus outfit if I was flying.
And the way they're charging for the weight of your suitcase, you put boots and a suit and this and that, you're definitely over the 50 pounds. And then
Raincoat,
if you take
boots,
two
belt.
suitcases, then if you belt, buckle, everything else, then if you take two suitcases, you're definitely paying for the extra. So I mean, it would be wonderful to have it with you, but there are some other restrictions that make it kind of inconvenient. Charlie's driving; he might be able to put a few more things in. Whoever driving might have a better chance, but
Mm-hmm.
flying is.
Yeah. And you can always hang suits and stuff up in your apparel bags if you're driving.
Yeah.
But just remember, if you go in a Buc-ee's or somewhere like that, and you're going to be inside for a little bit, lay those down and kind of hide them. Don't leave them hanging up where folks can see them, because curiosity killed the cat, right?
Yeah, and took the suits.
Tom mentions, this is towards it. Tom is on YouTube. Santa Tom, hi. He mentions on the first question, QuickBooks and Crinkle Tracker are his heroes. And he also mentions spends too much on costing and promo items to break even. Is there more there that I'm not seeing, Angie, or is that it? Okay. All right. It's finally scrolling up for me. Tom says, wondering if a person can depreciate costuming. Yes, you can. I believe you can. Check with your tax man, Tom, just to be sure, or go to AI. You like using AI? Let AI. I have found Google versus AI. Google gives you a whole page full of stuff, and then you've got to individually go through each link and do your own homework. Where with AI, it will give you a whole grouping and kind of decipher through that grouping and give you a synopsis of what it comes up with. So some folks don't like AI. That's a good way to use AI is ask the questions and get more variety of an answer, and it does the research for you. So it sure cuts down on time, believe me. Tom also says some Santas are designing and printing their own cards. Are those accepted in your trading card group? Jessica has said that to be a member of the Claus Card group, the last I heard was you had to buy into the Claus cards through Spangle. So again, Tom goes on to say casual only, except maybe undies and clean undies, maybe. Is that the last one, Angie?
Yeah, that was.
Okay. Yeah, I have to go over here to YouTube to pick up the YouTube comments. They come in a little bit slower. They lag behind on our feed over here sometimes. So that's why I have to keep looking over here just to make sure. Okay. Where did we leave off? I think that catches us up. Rex, John Schimmel says sending prayers towards you, my brother. Okay, Randy. Great job, everyone.
Right.
Thank you so much. We just love that first segment. Usually carries us to the bottom of the hour, and it's always action packed. John Schimmel says, I even have Santa undies. Mark Rector says, if you have a trading card outside of Claus cards, I would still love to trade with you. Send me a PM. Yeah, nothing saying that you can't still trade. And there are other folks that are designing their own. They do look different. They're not part of the numbered Claus card system, but nothing wrong with still trading with them. And in your book, go back to the last page and add them in, or somewhere within your book where you have a page just for those that are not in the Claus card. Randy and Debbie Neely are watching. Good to see you guys. Be seeing them here in Memphis in a short period of time, about 9 days or so. Jessica says yes to participate in the Claus Card Facebook group. You need to purchase a Claus card, but you are welcome to trade any card. That's exactly what we were saying. All right, Randy, let's go ahead and jump into our santascloset.org. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live, the show about nothing. Season 3 of Bob Randall and Company Live is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randall, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Real quick, Tom, you're good on YouTube. Matter of fact, we would prefer that folks watch on YouTube because in the long run, it's going to benefit TNL Productions through the hours watched and so forth and so on, which is part of what YouTube does to get monetized. So keep on doing what you're doing, Tom. I'll keep looking over here to make sure you haven't put anything up new, only because it lags a little bit. I'm using different screens, different computers and things. Angela says your comments pop right up on hers, so she'll let me know if anything pops up that I don't see, as she has already done a couple of times. All right, Randy, we got a good one for him today, as
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, good one. It's because the ISC is coming up, everybody. We've been talking about it and what you're bringing. But here's the question, everyone. How many ISCs, International Santa Celebrations, has iBurbs held or participated in, and give us the year, the city, and the location of each? So how many ISCs has iBurbs held or participated in, and give us the year, the city, and the location?
Yeah, I should have probably worded it a little bit different. The city location is all the same, just what city they were located in.
Okay, then.
Sometimes in my brain, I think I'm doing it right till I read it a couple of times and it doesn't look right. So my fault. So the year and the city located.
And there's, and how many? We have to have how many. So
Yes,
there's more than one. I'll give you a hint. There's more than one.
yes, there is.
Yeah.
And they are biannually, so except when COVID hits, and that kind of threw a loop in
Through
everything.
everything else. Yeah, that threw everything off. And
Yeah.
and everybody that bought tickets and couldn't put them back to the following year because they couldn't. Yeah, that threw a little.
It did. It did. It left some folks shaking their head for sure. But
Yeah.
hey, the
That
ISC
whole
is a
that whole
business.
time was everybody shaking their heads. So nothing
It's
was
a
normal
business.
during COVID. So
They have costs that they're obligated for. They sign contracts for the hotel, for the food, and
yep.
food and beverage is, as you know, Randy, because you're a big part of maps and help plan a lot of these events. Food and beverage is absolutely a killer.
Oh,
Amazing.
it's
Just to be
outrageous
able
now.
to get a decent rate at a hotel, you have to have certain food and beverage requirements. Anyway, it's a business. You have to treat it like a business. So therefore, you know, if it's out of the organizer's control or out of your control, it's just one of those things that
Yeah.
you just have to kind of lick your wounds and move on. So, absolutely.
Did the best they could under those circumstances is what happens. And so best that they could do during, because it was a crazy time. So
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So AJ says hi to us. He's joined us today, as always. He's saying hi to Jessica, and he's saying he'll see us in 3 months. He's talking about School of Santas when he says that. He says he'll be right back. He's got to run and put his TNL hat on. All right, looks like we got some answers coming in here. Now, this is one that you kind of have to do a little bit of research on. And I'm going to give you a hint here. If you watched last Tuesday Night Live, we had Stephen Arnold, Deanna Golden, Howard Graham, Stephen B. Price, and Tom Bailey on the show. And that answer was given last week. Twice during the show it was mentioned, early in the show and in the second half of the show. locations, and the years. So, you know, we got some guys that are really good at these trivia. So I hate to make it hard on those who struggle to find the answers, but the guys that continue to win a lot, you got to make it hard on them to make them earn their winnings, right?
Yeah, these aren't going to be as easy as copy and pasting. I don't think this one is not going to be.
No.
This is not going to be the same as typing in a question and getting an answer and copy and pasting. This is a little different.
Yeah. Now tomorrow night I did throw an easy one in there for tomorrow night for those who will be on tomorrow night's show. The second trivia question will be one that will come fairly easy. So all right, Randy. Let's see here. We are ready to move along and uh, do our Chatterbox news for the day.
Sounds great.
Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Noah Lott with Elfin Chatterbox News Report, reporting for the Bob, Randyl and Company live show. Remember you can catch our live reports every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Now back over to you guys in the studio for the latest on this breaking news event.
All right, as we mentioned earlier, we want to mention again, we've been mentioning for weeks on end now, but we do want folks to know that TNL Productions, Scott Seriton and myself, will be in Memphis. We have a booth. We're by Spangles, Spangles by us, however that works out. Come by, say hi, bring your clause cards if you want to trade. Everyone's having trouble getting Scott Seriton to participate in mailing out his cards. I'm not making excuses for him, but he does have a lot going on. And hey, I promise you, I'm making him because he's riding with me or I'm riding with him. However you want to, however you want to figure that. I'm making him bring his cards to Memphis. So if you are going to Memphis, you can catch up with him there. If not, otherwise, I'm fixing a lot of fire on him. Let's put it that way. See if we can't get him off high center. All right, so we will be there at the ISA Memphis 2024, and just come by and check us out. Give us an interview. We'll sit down and pre-record a interview. If we can't go live, we're going to do something live. We may do some Facebook Live. Hey, you never know what me and Scott might do. Just never can tell. So the ISA Memphis 2024 is April 26th through the 28th. If you've been hiding under a rock and have not heard, the host hotel is in the downtown Sheraton, directly adjacent to the magnificent Renaissance Convention Center. Registration has been extended to April 17th. That gives you that's right, 2 more days if you want to get in and still get the hotel and get your registration in. For complete schedules, including workshop times, presenters, and topics, you can go over to the International Santa Celebration Facebook group. It's all posted right there, and you can keep up with everything coming and going with the ISC. All right, Randy, grab it from there.
Well, great. Then, of course, we cannot forget School of Santas in Branson. That's already coming up to talk about. Talk about it every week because it's always such a great event. This is July 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. 1 week this year down in Branson, and we know that's where entertainment and education mix. And Spangle puts on such a great event for food and entertainment and classes and everything else. And of course, this year, your keynote speaker is Jeff McMullen. Yeah, Santa Mac will be there to be your keynote speaker at Kringle University and all that. So don't miss that. There's only a couple of seats left. And I don't know how Spangle's squeezing anybody else in there, but he says he's got a couple of seats left. So don't miss the School of Santa at Branson again this year. Just a phenomenal week. Thank goodness, like for you guys, that 2-week event. I don't know how you did it last year. I have no idea. But
it was tough.
Yeah, but don't miss. But there's a few more seats available. Same with iVerbs or the ISC. There's a few seats left, so you can go there. And of course, coming in August for here up in Maps is the Red Suit Conclave, the 3rd and the 4th. I think it's 3rd and the 4th. That's Saturday and Sunday. They're 2nd and 3rd of August up in Saginaw, Michigan, which we do every year. So you'll hear more about that in time coming. But there's so much to choose from this summer. But the two big ones are coming up: ISC and Branson. Two big ones coming up first. Don't miss them.
That's right. And you know, speaking of 2 weeks last year, it wasn't just the classroom days that were tough. It was even the getting there early, setting up, doing all of our errands that we had to do before opening the doors to start the event. And then the week in between the two was action packed. Spangle had something for us to do during the day, things to do at night. I mean, it was a true 2 weeks full of go, 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 and very little sleep and a whole lot of cobbler and ice
A
cream.
whole lot of cobbler. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. That's at least that
And
made it worthwhile. But
speaking of, he's working on doing that again this year. So if you like to come to the School of Santas and eat that cobbler, then he's working on it for sure. I'm going to go back up here and pick up a couple of comments here that I saw a minute ago. Uh, I know I saw one that was funny. I was going to try to grab. I probably already skipped over it. Mark Rector says we're again speaking of clause cards. He can't get folks to reply anymore. He's pretty much given up on them. Don't do that, Mark. Just go with the ones you can get, and the knuckleheads that don't want to participate or are not responding. We'll see if we can shun them. Charlie John says he's in timeout, so he can't make the answers. Here was the funny one I was looking for. Deborah Kaiser says, "I wished I was smarter instead of being so good looking." Yeah, looks like we've got a lot of good answers coming in right here for the trivia, so that's very good. All right, now then, I just want to mention right here, real quick, on next week's Tuesday Night Live show, we will have our second installment for this month, which is something we started new for the 2024 season of Tuesday Night Live. Jessica has come on the first Tuesday, starting early, beginning of last year, but this year we're doing it twice. We're doing it the first of the month and in the middle of the month, and she has come up with a new segment. This will be the second installment for this month, and the segment is called North Star Segment. She does a pre-recorded video that she puts together. Of course, everybody knows Jessica Rosa, Holiday Photo Magic, and this one coming up, not this week, but next week now, is Customer Relations Management (CRM). What it is and why it is a real game changer. Now, Tom had mentioned earlier about he uses a couple of different ones to help track his stuff. Well, this is a segment that Jessica has put together that will help those who are not very familiar with CRM and how to use it. So fantastic. Okay, moving along for tomorrow night's Tuesday Night Live upcoming guest. Tomorrow night, April 19th, we have Gina Bacon, Nationwide Santa's Placement Agency, entertainers, background checks, performance insurance. She's got some really new stuff going on. She's going to do a couple of segments of her own that will be outside the box for what she normally does on our show. These are things that I think is going to help a lot of folks see things in a little bit different light. And so we're looking forward to Gina tomorrow night. Gina is a staple on the show. We have her on at least twice a year, sometimes more. Footnote right there, just to remember I said that. All right, and then April 30th, we've got Santa Chris and Kim Terry. Randy got to meet Chris here a while back. He was at one of y'all's events recently, and Randy said, "You need to get this guy on a Tuesday Night Live show." I reached out to Chris, and him and Kim are going to come on. They're Old Town Santa and Mrs. Claus. Tell us a little bit about Chris, Randy.
Chris and Kim are fairly new. They've only been doing it professionally for the past few years, but have really, really taken to it. They've gone to a lot of schools. Chris actually won the scholarship to Master Claus Academy, and he's all natural. Gets another one of those beard envy guys, full and everything else, but he's another one of those very younger, very hungry new Santas and Mrs. Clauses. So they work well together, done some great things. Don't miss them. They got his attitude and his excitement is very, and I always think this is a nasty word, infectious, but it is. It's very infectious. His excitement about um, being a Santa and doing it. It really is.
I was going to say contagious.
Contagious. Okay, good. That doesn't sound as bad as infectious. Yeah, yeah, but it's yeah, good, good. But it is. It's very it's it's
He
it's
is very
wonderful.
enthusiastic and glad to
Yeah,
be part of the community and
yeah,
cannot wait to be on Tuesday Night Live. He is
yeah.
so excited.
Good people. Good people. So,
All right, Randy, go ahead and finish the
all
list
righty.
after
Then
me,
we've
please.
got May 7th. Is Chris Burton, um, the owner entertainer of PJ's Magical Events, down in Kentucky, Central Kentucky. He does magic puppetry. So which same thing. It's great to hear um, what Santas do through the rest of the year and how that helps you be a better Santa or you put that in towards your Santa performances. Um, Chris would be great to listen to because he's another full-time entertainer. It's so many of the extra experiences. And again, I always say that how much that helps or makes you uh, part of your Santa persona. So and then on May 14th is Jeff McMullen, Santa Mac. Um, what can you say about Santa Mac besides, of course, he'll be a School of Santas, but same thing. Another person that was been an entertainer all his life, not just Santa. 30 years in Ringling Brothers, Kringle University. He's got the shed he's going to be talking about. So there's so many great things to and just and I'll say it again, just to listen to Santa Mac, you just he's the softest, just well spoken, just makes you feel so good when you listen to him. Heart of gold and everything else. So don't miss Santa Mac on May 14th. Then May 28th, yeah, thinking about the end of May already. This will be a first for Tuesday Night Live. A great person to have on from Gig Salad, Megan Price. And most of us are on Gig Salad one way or the other. But Megan Price when Gig Salad will be on. Bob set that up. I think it's be the first time she's been on or will be on. Um, don't miss that because she'll give us tips about Gig Salad and everything else, how you can use it, how you can help increase your business as Santa, Mrs. Claus, or your entertainment business. Um, be honest with you, that's the only way I do Gig Salad. I don't do Santa on it. I do my magic, and there usually isn't a day goes by that I don't get a an inquiry on Gig Salad to do a show. I mean, it's and I don't even do the pay one. It's fantastic. It's but Megan will be on, so don't miss that. That's May 28th. May 28th. Half the year's done, but from Gig Salad, don't miss that. So that'll be a real good education for be the first time on Tuesday Night Live.
Yeah, and with Gig Salad, like you said, it's not just Santa, Mrs. Claus, Elf. It's all types of entertainment that you can list yourself as. A lot of guys use the free service. Some guys do the paid service. There's been question back and forth: is the paid service worth it? What do you get for free? What do you get for paid? Megan's going to answer all those questions and more, and tell you exactly how everything works with Gig Salad. It's probably one of the better tools for entertainers in the
It's
industry. And Megan is so kind, so sweet, so fun, and she'll be on. Can't wait to have her on. It's still a number of weeks away, but always looking forward to the guests week in and week out.
I mean, it's always great to have people connected in to be an agent, like Gina on tomorrow night. She's an agency. She gets us extra work. Megan, even though Megan technically doesn't get you extra work, but her company does Gig Salad. So it's just another way to be for us to work more. So the more you learn about those companies and Megan and all that, the more you can work and everything else.
Are you talking about Nick's
Yeah.
on Macon?
Yeah.
Nick Casey says Macon went over my profile last year and she said she would change nothing. It was set up perfect. There you go. Again, they're there to help you if you need help. If you don't need help and you get perfection on your own, as Nick did, that's also a plus in your column. Look up Santa Nick C on Gig Salad if you're interested in checking out his profile and see what he has on there. And if you can improve your profile, fine. If you can't and you need help, again, Megan and the whole crew. It's not just Megan at Gig Salad. Megan is one of the representatives for the central eastern half of the United States, but they have tons of people involved in Gig Salad that can go on and help you. Megan is just the one that always represents. She comes to Branson each year. And San Antonio, we had another young lady. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, but she was with Gig Salad, and they had a table set up and spoke to a lot of folks down there during the San Antonio event that we had back in February. All right, how am I doing on Tom's? He got anything over here I need to read? Okay, very good. All right, let's see. We do have a winner, correct?
Yes.
Okay, got a winner. Randall, let's do the trivia answer.
Alrighty, here we go, guys. How many ISCs has iBurbs held or participated in? Give us the year, the city, the location of each event. There was 4 of them. 4 of them. 2014, there was Tampa. 2016 was Branson. 2018 was Denver. 2022, because of COVID, was Atlanta. So there was 4: 2014 Tampa, 2016 Branson, 2018 Denver, and 2022 in Atlanta.
That's correct. And when I worded that, I had has IBRBs, let's make it simple, held or participated in, because the Discover Santa, which was Tim Conahan's 10-year celebration of his get together in Branson, the IBRBS and ISC participated in that particular event. So it wasn't a standalone; it was part of. And our winner,
Rex.
Rex, right now, Rex, brother, do you want the gift, or do you want us to pass it along to number 2? Let me know. Sometimes he forgoes the gift and passes it along. Okay, let's see. Just as I said that, Tom puts a comment up. Plan on anyone from the bash or hire Santa. We have talked to Mitch, and Mitch is willing to come on. We just got to catch. Mitch is another person that's very, very, very busy. Travels a lot, has multiple businesses that he takes care of. I don't know how many of you know that, but he's quite the businessman. And like I say, got lots of irons in coals in the fire, irons in the fire. So we have spoke to Mitch and trying to get him on. And when he comes on, he had mentioned that he would get Chinny to come on with him. So we'll get those two on here pretty soon. As far as the bash, I have not reached out to them. But that is a great idea, Tom, and we'll see if we can make that happen. Thank you, sir, for the recommendation.
Rex said pass it on.
Pass it on. So who was our second winner?
Diane.
It'd be Diane Van. That's correct. All right, Diane, I will get your information over to Mr. Wade Kaufman, Santa Wade Kaufman at santascloset.org, and get you some goodies on the way. And congratulations. And Rex, see, Rex didn't have to do no research on that ISC question because he already had that answer. He knew it. And so he was quick to get it in there and did a great job. Thank you, Rex, for playing along, my friend. And being so gracious to pass the gift along. Okie dokie. Are we ready for some Santa's tips?
Let's give it a shot.
Let's do it.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Santa's Tips. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. The last few weeks, I've been showing a magic trick all the time, and there's something that, of course, I just love magic and all that, and the children do too, but there's so many things that children think are magical that of course aren't even magic tricks. There's so many things that we can turn into that's so magical and unique for children to see and make up our own little story about, that we can turn it to be magical as can be. And it's something, I know I showed this last year, but it's something as easy as a little music box. Now, how many children even know or hear a music boxes anymore? That's something very unique. You can then, of course, if you find one that's made out of wood and a hand crank, and this one plays jingle bells, it's just the story you can make up about something like this, and that all of a sudden becomes just as magical as making something appear. It's a little box that you crank and makes beautiful little music. I have another one that I think that plays. What is this? Oh, we wish you a Merry Christmas. Wish you a Merry Christmas. But that is something that a lot of the children don't see. They're so busy looking at their phones and all that, that this is also something very unique that Santa and Mrs. Claus can talk about and make it as magical, and the stories behind it that you can make up. And I shouldn't say story, but the history of it that you can make up can just be as breathtaking as a big magic trick or a big present. Um, Something like these things. I just love these things. These little, I think it's called I hate the name, sex letter, text letter, or whatever it's called. But the stories you can make about these items, you can get them very inexpensive on eBay, and you bring them along when you're doing a house party, or if you're bringing wherever you're at, and you have these with you, and you can just make a story up about how you used to fly by the night of the stars and everything else, and the children will listen to it, and they'll be just every breath you take, they'll listen to, and it's just for something that they haven't seen before. So we have to remember, we don't have to show a magic trick. We don't have to show the most wildest things. Something as easy as this, that we can make the unique story and everything else, to make the children in awe of what we see. I just love kaleidoscopes. I think it's a beautiful thing to have. Not many children. How many children even know what a kaleidoscope is? But it's such a cool thing to show. You buy something that's a little bit nicer looking than a piece of cardboard, because then it looks more Santa-ish or from the North Pole. But let's just take our brains and our minds and make the magic come out of a prop. Even little books. Tell them these are the reason why they're there. That size is because of the elves. They're just little tiny books, but you can make a whole story about why these books are tiny. And you can still read. This one's fantastic. Oh, it's so cool. It's got recipes in it. It's got little crafts in it. It's just so much fun, some of these little storybooks. But the stories, then you can sit down with the children and talk about that this is, these books were made just for the elf size. It's not Santa size or our size. It's for the elves. So it only takes our imagination to make any prop that we can find. Of course, we make stories about the bells, the keys. We have big, long stories. So take other props and make those stories and make them more magical, that the children will just sit and listen, just be in awe of something totally different that they don't see anymore. It doesn't always have to be even this. It's just crazy. It's just a box I bought from Michael's. Now it's just got the coins in it, but it looks so much cooler, and you could build a whole story around the treasure chest and everything else. And they're just going to get a coin, but it's all in the presentation. It's all in your story that you do. Take it and then find a friend, another Santa or Mrs. Claus, and then rehearse that with them. Go over that. Then bantered back and forth about how you can help that story along a little bit, make it a little bit deeper, make it a little bit more funny, make it a little bit more whatever. But build a story around something special that makes it more magical for the children. Don't always have to be magic. Doesn't always have to be something like that. Even though I love magic, we can make anything magical because Santa and Mrs. Claus are the most magical characters there are. It is amazing. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys are wonderful for joining us each and every week. Have a great day. See you soon. You're on mute, Bob. I should mute myself for coughing.
Yeah, I said, "Oh, OMG, Clark! I love the idea of the tiny books. That is super cool. I'm gonna
It's
have to
just
steal that one, Randy."
it's just great. I mean, they fit small in your bag. You always carry a bag. Even these can fit in your pocket or Mrs. Claus wherever. And the stories you can get just by, well, they're elf books, and these, of course, they're regular books.
Yeah.
So find those unique things. And I'd be honest with you, I will have to give this a thumbs up. This is to Shaun White. She talked about small books. I don't know, at something I saw, and I said it's fantastic. So I took it a step further for me. So
I love that idea. I love it. Absolutely. Tom High says, "Wow, music boxes, and they're not digital. Amazing."
yeah, I bought these again. I shouldn't say this, but I'm an eBay fanatic. I bought them on eBay, and they're just children just don't. It's the old day. They used to have the jewelry boxes. You know, girls had a jewelry box, and it was a musical. I don't think they even make those anymore. So it's we can go back, excuse me, 50 years for something, 60 years on something that was new then, and make it new now for the children.
Well, and think about in our childhood, we had Jack in the Boxes. You don't see those as often. You can still find them,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
old school Jack in the Boxes where you would crank, pop, goes the weasel, or pop goes the Jack in the Box, wherever you put stuffing back down and do it again. I mean, we could sit for hours and
Oh,
crank on the thing and listen to that little, and it was just, it was a toy that kept us, engaged. And you don't see those
no,
type
that's
of
right.
toys anymore as
We can
often
make
as you used to.
all that stuff look new again, especially if it's a toy or if it's something like that or unique. Like I said, I just think these things look so cool. They just have, in the stories you can tell it's a compass, it's whatever they're called. Um, about that's how we used to fly around, to the olden days as Santa. So use
Several
that
folks have
for
got
part of
up
your
there. Those are sextants.
Thank you. I
So,
hate the name. Nothing personal.
yeah, Nick Casey, Mark Rector, Charlie Johnson, all put that up there. This is a sextant.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy name, isn't it?
But we can use those children that receive them. They look unique as can be, and
Yep.
then the story is whatever we want to write.
Looks like something Santa would use from the North Pole for navigation or whatever. I want to catch a comment that was further up the page that I was going to try to get to here. Everett Prostrollo brought up a great point, that is, offer to promote your tax service in exchange for doing your taxes. Do a little commercial, do a promotional Facebook, YouTube, whatever, however, the media that you want to use, and swap those out for your tax services. Going on down the line here, Diane Vian says, "Thanks so much to Rex. Wants to know if you're going this year." I think she's talking about Branson Rex. And I'm sure that's 3 months away, and he's got a lot to deal with between now and then. So Nick Casey wants to say thank you to Jessica Rosa for going over his website and giving him some great advice. He will be updating it very soon with her suggestions. He created an entire magical toolbox I use when I visit and tell stories. It's also from Nick. Jessica says, "Love it. You're a true TNL winner." He won her segment on TNL, and that was what she'd done for him, was to go in and look at his social media, website, whatever, and give him some ways to improve it. Nick also says they make them even smaller for doll houses, and they are readable as big as your thumb. That's the little
Wow.
bitty
Wow.
ones.
It's too small for me to hold, but
Dana Prostrello says we have a Santa in the box and a reindeer in the box that we use in photo sessions with children. Absolutely love them. I like that idea too, Dana. Fantastic. All right. Goodness. I think we got one last thing to do, and that's Santa's nightcap. So let's jump on into nightcap here. This is going to be our short Christmas story segment. We highlight a 5-minute story or a book each week. Number of pages in this book is 32 total. It comes in English. It's a hardback. Publisher is Anderson Press. And our book today is Luna Loves Christmas. And I'm going to get Angela to run the video. It's a fairly new book, just published in 2023, and I think it's going to be a great one. You know, if you like diversity, you like good messages, uh, as it says there in the video about going to the food bank and helping. I mean, just the story alone is so uh, heartwarming and such a great message for children. So if you don't have that one in your book bag, you might want to go out and get it. Luna Loves Christmas, and that's our nightcap for this week.
it's always good to have a variety of books. It really is.
It is, and you can pick and choose, and this has diverse characters in it. It has different, it talks about separated families, mom and dad, two household, stays with dad sometimes, stays with mom sometimes. Mom comes up with this idea of going and volunteering at the food bank. And like I say, such a great message, and it teaches children. Uh, Sometimes parents separate. They go their different ways, and now you've got two households to bounce back and forth between. Great message, and it's a best-selling Christmas book overall, independent journalism. And I'll tell you what, the author is quite accomplished in many fields, and it's a really well thought out, well written book, and even the illustrations are great. So grab Luna Loves Christmas, put it in your book bag. It's a great one to tell. It's 32 pages, but you can read it in about 5 minutes. So, all right. Nick Casey says, "Dear Santa is fantastic as well. We'll have to check that one out. May have tried to see if we can do one on it." Rex says, "First surgery is tomorrow afternoon, but I will try to catch TNL live because I never want to miss Gina." That's right, Rex. Gina is our girl. And hey, she's been going through a lot. She lost her best friend and significant other, you might say, that had dated on and off for 20 years, and it's been a tough go for her. But she has taken to heart the fact that she was going to sit around and mope, and she had talked to me about she had put on weight, and she's lost 35 pounds. So kudos to her for losing the weight. Some of the things she's going to talk about tomorrow night is about being fit, and like I said, she's going to take her interview in a different direction. Something that because we've had her on so many times, she was looking to try to broaden out what she's going to speak about tomorrow night. So don't want to miss it. Gina Bacon tomorrow night, Tuesday Night Live.
I think that's a wonderful thing because we all go through things in life. I definitely know we all go through things in life, and we all have to deal with it. We all have to keep on going. So it'll be great to listen to Gina to see how she coped. She kind of went off the rails, went back on the track, and then because she knows she has to go forward. And so she knows she's got the Santas and all the children. So it's I think it's a great thing for all of us to learn because there's going to be something in our life that's going to affect it strongly. So I think
Yeah,
it's a great message, not always just to know what you're doing, but that helps us out to deal with the real
and,
world.
and something that does help us is we turn to food a lot of times for comfort. It's comfort food. That's why they call it comfort food. It helps helps put you in a better mood, helps you feel better. And the downside of that is you can, start adding on weight, and that's not good for your health. Randy, uh, folks may not know, but Randy was of a heavier size in his youth, and
My youth,
your youth
3 4 years
totally,
ago, I was over 400 pounds. Yeah,
totally, you lost a whole nother Randy over there
yeah,
somewhere.
I lost a whole other person. Yeah,
And Randy's been through a lot in the last couple of years. He's dealing with it. He has surgery recently. As you might have noticed, he coughed a couple of times today. He's still got a little congestion from that, and we want to pray for you, brother, and keep your spirits up. And like I say, you ever need anything, the Santa community is behind you. Which brings me to the point that Gina said that something has really helped her through losing Mark is been quite a few Santas and Mrs. Clauses came to Vegas, and you know she gets to meet them. They go out, have dinner, talk, and that's helped her get through some of the rough nights also. So
He was to Tom and then,
okay, real quick here.
one from Nick Case.
All right, I'm gonna go over here to catch Tom's. I don't see him on my list here.
it actually is 8 o'clock Eastern time for Tuesday Night Live. It's 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I see we got a couple. Somebody says 6. No, it's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for
Tom,
Tuesday Night Live.
Tom Howe also says, as much as I love the TNL show, think this is more my favorite. Thank you, Tom. It's I've always said this show is totally different now. When we started this show back on season one, it was just more of a highlight show for Tuesday night. We were going to go through our cast real quick, and then the trivia, kind of got worked in, and then this show has morphed into a lot more than that with the addition of Randy once Barry left, and Randy came on, and our first segments of the hot topics has been really popular with everyone, and mine and Randy's favorite. And then of course the segments that Randy does week in and week out, he knocks it out of the ballpark with the magic and all the things he does. And I've had several segments at the end, and um, may not be quite as popular as Randy's, but there's something there for everybody.
Oh,
The
it's
books.
necessity. It's
I mean,
great.
the books are a something that all of us use,
Yeah.
and most of us stick to a handful of books, and that's it. Get diverse. Get out there and find some of these books that's got different diversities in them, different ethnicities, different stories, hidden messages, illustrations that are over the top, and that's kind of what Nightcap is all about. Is trying to show everyone that there's more out there than just the standard 3 or 4 or 5 books that we have been known to carry in our book bag for so long. Anyway, thank you, Tom, for that. What did I miss another one, Angie?
The other one that Tom said that, don't worry, he found those 35 pounds.
Oh, Tom says, "Don't worry, he found those 35 pounds." Talking about Gina's weight loss.
That's why donuts are good. Calories are missing out of the middle.
That's why donuts are good, because the calories are missing out of the middle, the donut hole.
And then through the case.
What time does it start every week? Or are we talking about? You just addressed that, didn't you, Randy?
I think he's talking about show and he likes it. And he wants to know what time it starts every week.
Oh, okay. Well, this show here starts at 3 p.m. Central Time, Nick, and this
4
is our
Eastern Standard.
4th season on Mondays, 3 with Randy, and so we only consider the Bob and Randall and Company live show 3 seasons because of that. But we were on Mondays prior to that with Barry Cummins, before Barry passed away and left the show with health problems. Randy graciously came in, and again, 2 different kind of shows, uh, 2 different time slots, trying to give everyone a chance to chime in and be a part. This one here is as much audience participation as anything. We're on Tuesday night. Yes, we cover the comments, but on Tuesday night, it's more about our guests and what they can share with the Claus community, what about their experiences, how they came to the red suits, or as to become Clauses. Today, we get in a little bit of everything on Mondays. I
Yeah,
enjoy
and
Mondays immensely.
And if you missed the Monday afternoon show or the Tuesday night, they're both on YouTube. So you can always go back and see the replays for free. So in case you can't make it here on a Monday afternoon at 3 Central or Tuesday at 7 Central, they're always on YouTube anytime to watch. So
That's great.
you won't miss. There just won't be the interaction because it's taped, but they're there to go back and see if you can't make it, which is
And
fantastic for everybody.
just remember that Bob Randall and Company Live has their own. We have our own YouTube channel. So if you go over and you research Tuesday Night Live, you won't find any of the Bob and Randall segments there that are recorded. You'll have to go over to the Bob Randall and Company. I'll tell you what, I'll get Angela to put the link up in the comments. That way, if anyone wants to go over and check it out. Our viewership on Mondays on YouTube is less than what we're getting for the Tuesday Night Live show. I think it's because maybe we have failed to promote Bob Randall and Company as much as we do Tuesday Night Live, as far as mentioning that we do have a separate channel. It is free. That's correct. Always free. We try to bring good stuff to you and help you out. A couple more comments I want to catch. Nick says he loves the tips and the book ideas. Always looking to learn and find new things. That's what Monday is all about, is trying to be a teachable moment for everyone. Rex Ray, this show is great for so many reasons, starting with the 2 of you and Angela Till. Rex, thank you, brother. You're too kind, my friend. Yeah, Nick said he didn't know we were on Monday. So, well, 4 seasons, over 120 plus shows for the first 3 seasons. We're on our 9th show, so we're around 130 show total for Monday. So there's 129 or something that you can go back to YouTube and catch. And we've really enjoyed doing this on Mondays as well as Tuesdays. Mondays is such a great show. Randy is such a great co-host. So experienced, so humble, so kind, and adds so much to this show. Couldn't do it without him. Couldn't do it without Angela Mack. She
Angela and Bob.
produces both shows. So, all right, guys, I think we're going to call it a day. We've come to the end here. And Randy, you got anything that you want to add to anything we've talked
No,
about?
just want to say thank you again, everybody, for joining us. It's always a pleasure and our honor to chit chat. Can't thank Bob and Angela enough for how much work they put into these shows, and it's all to make us better and to make more smiles on the children, and that's the bottom line. It's all a little bit about education, and fellowship. So thank you guys for joining us. My pleasure, and I'm blessed to be a part of it. I'll see you soon.
Randy, the bottom line is we don't just tease you.
It's always free. There's no hidden cost anywhere. We don't have all them levels and you know what I mean. Um, Go back and learn and everything else because we are better together. That's our motto at MAPS. We're better together, and we're better together. It doesn't matter what state you're in as Santa and Mrs. Claus. We're all better together, and that's what we want to do here on Mondays is help make everything a little bit better for our children, for our clients.
Right.
Because
They're the beneficiaries. We're just
they're
the ones that are lucky enough to be able to do these things. Just want to thank everyone again. I know we've said this time and time and time again, but hey, Randy and I and Angie could sit here on Mondays and do this and nobody watch and it would be all for nothing. So
thank
you guys are the ones that need to be thanked. We want to thank you for participating. That's the main thing. Join in, come in, ask the questions, give us your ideas, give us your experiences, give us your answers. Be a part of this show because this show is all about you. You guys out there, thank you so much. Love you. Until next Monday, God bless you. And Randy, take care of yourself. You need anything, we're here for you. Rex, we're praying for you, brother. And we will talk to everyone tomorrow night. If you come over to the Tuesday Night Live Show, come check us out, 7 p.m. Central, back here at 3 p.m. on Monday. Good afternoon, everyone.